Tube Review.
What's going on, Tube Nation? Tony Tubes coming back at you. Today I'm going to talk about something that's very, very close to my heart, something very special that just happened. Gosh, I wish I could have been there, but I had some good friends that made it to the first couple shows, and then one of them actually went to Chicago and did the last set of shows. And I know the Tube Review, I talk about movies and everything like that, but today I'm going to talk about something that's been very dear to my heart for a very long time, and that's the Grateful Dead. I'm a big Grateful Dead fan, so that's first and foremost. I'm a Deadhead, and so the Fare Thee Well shows, their 50th anniversary, their last shows were this last week. And it started off in around Santa Clara, California, and then went over to Chicago to do the last set. And the thing is that one of my favorite musicians, Trey Anastasio, was tapped to be Jerry Garcia for the Grateful Dead shows, the finales and everything, which was, gosh, in my eyes, I mean, it's Trey Anastasio doing Jerry, and that's just amazing. And I've heard him with Fish do Terrapin Station before. I've heard them do a lot of different Dead tunes and stuff, and so I was very, very excited about that. Just the concept of the Dead getting back together again. The last time I saw them was in '04 when they were just the Dead, and they just had Warren Haynes with them right there. So that was a really, really awesome show at Bonnaroo. And so that was a very, very awesome experience for me, and it was just a very, very good show and a very good time in my life. So when I heard about these Fare Thee Well shows, it was very apparent to me that this was going to be huge, and there was a lot of going-ons with tickets and everything like that. And the set list after seeing all the shows and everything like that, the set lists were very good. They were very Bobby driven. And, as stoked as I am that it happened, and as stoked as I was to hear about it happening, I have to say my points for this. First of all, it felt like the Bobby Weir show to me. It felt like going to see Rat Dog, because every single song, it seemed, was driven towards either full band melodies, harmonics together and stuff like that, or it was Bobby. There was a couple Phil tunes, there was a couple Trey tunes, there was a couple Bruce Hornsby tunes thrown in there, but most of the time it was Bobby singing Jerry's parts. And as much as I love Bobby Weir, the same thing, Jack Straw, I wouldn't want to hear anybody else do Jack Straw besides Bob Weir. Cassidy, I named one of my daughters after that song. I wouldn't want to hear anybody else sing that song but Bob Weir. But it's the same thing with I Know You Rider, Terrapin Station. There were so many songs that Trey could have taken over, and Trey was there to be Jerry. He was there to fill Jerry's shoes. That was his role. And as well as he did on the guitar, I just think he should have had more time to sing Jerry's songs. I really do. And maybe that was a Trey thing. Maybe he didn't feel like he could. But that's a cop-out, and they should have gotten someone else to do it then. I just think that the Grateful Dead, Bobby lends himself great to certain songs, but I don't want to see the Bobby Weir show. And, some of the songs that Trey did do, he was very, very good at and everything, but I miss Warren Haynes. Warren Haynes filled Jerry's shoes so much more for me. And so, I miss Warren Haynes being with the Dead, and I honestly kind of wish that he would have been up there too, maybe alongside Trey. But and that's another thing. I really wish they would have had more guests, because there were so many people. They could have had Bob Dylan come out there. They could have had, as much as I fucking loathe this woman, they could have had Donna Jean come out there and do something. I think that there were so many more people involved with the Grateful Dead that could have come out and did one song or something like that. That would have been really, really cool. And just maybe one show, because they had, 6 shows or something like that. So one of those shows, they could have brought out a couple guests, I think, which would have been really cool. Another thing is, I've seen so much, so many articles and relics where they've brought out the Wolf. Phil Lesh has brought out Jerry's old guitar, the Wolf, for certain occasions and stuff like that, for Ryan Adams to play and all sorts of stuff. And I just think it would have been really cool to see Trey play the Wolf through the whole thing, or just something along those lines. I really, really wish that he would have played that guitar. So that would have been really cool. Another thing You know, if it was me putting together the Grateful Dead's last show, and I had any say in it whatsoever, they'd be lined up the way they always were lined up. Because this time, if you looked at the stage, if you're looking at the stage, you see Trey Anastasio on the left, Bob Weir, Phil Lesh, and then keyboards and piano. It's supposed to be Phil Lesh, Bob Weir, Jerry, keyboards and piano, or Trey for Jerry. I just think that would have been cool, you know, because that's how they always lined up. That's how they've always lined up on stage. And so that was kind of like, hey, why aren't you guys lined up like that? That's kind of weird. It also would have been really cool to, and I don't know if they still have this equipment or not, but it would have been really cool to see them bring out the old wall of sound and actually have that there. That would have been really, really sweet. To emphasize, I'm a big fan of the Grateful Dead. I love the Grateful Dead. I would have given my last nut to be at these shows. But just in me seeing these shows, you know, from my perspective and everything, I just felt like, you know, I really wish that I would have seen a little bit more of what I was talking about in the ways of, you know, seeing more songs sung by Trey for Jerry's role. And, you know, seeing the Wolf be brought out, seeing the Wall of Sound be brought out, seeing the old lineup on stage and everything like that, seeing some old friends come back, that would have been really, really cool. So, but I love the Grateful Dead. It was a great 4th of July for me. Redfield, South Dakota fireworks were awesome. And just, I'm so excited that my friends Jen and Chad got to go and be a part of the Grateful Dead's last hurrah. Maybe, who knows? Like I've said before, Kiss's first farewell tour was like 1996. So who knows? The Grateful Dead might come back, and I saw Bill Kreutzmann wants to do some East Coast shows too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But and also, I want to give a special shout out to the Screen Junkies. Screen Junkies are at Comic-Con this year, and that is just so awesome. Going back to the movie stuff. Screen Junkies at Comic-Con. God, I wish I could come there just so I could support you guys, man. So, Hail Hydra, and you guys have fun. And you guys are probably recording it right now. I think you said 8:30, and it's 10:44 right now. So it sounds like you guys are probably recording it right now. So, but congrats, guys, and congrats to my friends for going to the Grateful Dead's last hurrahs. Congrats on the Grateful Dead for 50 years of wonderful music. 50 years and more, because there was a little bit more time there where they all weren't together and stuff. So I love the Grateful Dead, and it's really awesome that we were alive to see that, to see the end of that kind of thing. So have a good one, guys. I'll come back and talk about some movies here soon. I got the internet, so I can start catching up on a lot of stuff. Daredevil, all sorts of stuff. Orange is the New Black. Watch some movies. Have some good times. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July. I'm out of here for a week. I'm going out to the hills. So you guys have a good day.
Tube Review.